Hey class, welcome back and good afternoon. I'm recording this on Friday afternoon. It's a little late, but hope everyone had a great 4th of July and hopefully everyone's enjoying the holiday and maybe extended weekend. Maybe your job let you off for a long weekend. I hope so. Anyways, hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to week number 6. I can't believe that, man. It means we're about 3/4 of the way through the course of a summer course. So that's just flying by. But anyways, welcome back for this week. I just wanted to let you know, hey, great job with another great discussion this week. I mean, it's Friday, so I'm still waiting on the post to get finalized, but it was really enjoyable to read your discussions about the different types of personality tests. And I always like, this doesn't seem like the deepest dive of a conversation to get into, but I always find it really interesting. You all through 20 different responses end up looking at these tests 20 different ways, and sometimes you inevitably come up with something new or different that I've never thought of before of conceptualizing one of these tests and its uses. So I always find it really interesting to see how this information ends up coming out. So anyways, really enjoyed your discussion post for this week. Or for last week, excuse me. This week, I want you to focus on 2 chapters. Chapters 11, which is the subject of health psychology, and this is the subject about stress, specifically about things we can do to improve our health. One of the things that we can do is minimizing stress, and I know I'm saying that right now, and you're like, whoa, good luck minimizing my stress. And it's very hard. It's one of the things that's very difficult for people to do is to manage stress. But I think if we want to start thinking about not only the quantity of our life, but the quality of life as humans that we have on this time we have, we need to think about stress reduction. And that doesn't mean just, being zen, relaxed, and blah, 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 or whatever, being totally relaxed and never stressed. That's not exactly what I mean, but just having effective strategies for dealing with stress when it comes, because stress is inevitable. It's not like it goes away. Like, when you graduate college, stress disappears, or when you get married, stress disappears. In fact, a lot of times, some of the most important moments, positive moments in our life are stress inducing. So we have to learn how to effectively manage with stressors that are good and stressors that are bad. So that's the big gist of this chapter. And then I want you to read the following chapter, which is chapter 12, and that is on psychological disorders. So chapter 11 kind of ties right into chapter 12. One of the sort of understandings, the models of how we understand mental health, at least a modern understanding, is the relationship between stress and outcomes. That, all of us encounter stress, but there are some people who are maybe a little more vulnerable to that stress, and maybe perhaps that is some of the indication of why some people develop mental illnesses and others do not. Not to say that because we're all stressed, obviously, but it's just how we react to it. So chapter 11 and 12 are not separate, is kind of what I'm pointing out. Chapter 12 is a nice broad overview of the different classifications of disorders that you would encounter, if you were reading the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Illness. One thing I want to really point out before you read chapter 12 or dive into that topic of mental illness is please, 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 please avoid self-diagnosing of any kind. So you may read through the chapter and you may read about a specific disorder and think, oh my gosh, that reminds me of me, that's me right there. That's fine if you're concerned, if it raises a red flag or something, fine. But please don't jump on WebMD. Please don't self-diagnose. Please don't jump on Facebook and tell everyone, oh my God, I've got bipolar disorder or something like that. If you are legitimately concerned about your mental health, I highly recommend reaching out to a medical professional. I'm not a medical professional. You aren't. If you're taking this course, you probably aren't a medical professional in the sense that you're a doctor, like a trained, licensed doctor. Some of you might be going into the medical profession, but that doesn't mean you're like licensed and trained to diagnose. So please, 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 if you are concerned, reach out to the appropriate personnel. Reach out to your general practitioner, see a psychiatrist, a psychologist, somebody, but don't let your thoughts run down the rabbit hole of thinking you're, maybe mentally ill when you're not. Because a lot of these things that we're going to talk about, like depression, anxiety, for example, incredibly common experiences by most of us. We all feel ups and downs. We all feel anxious and nervous at times. But what makes something a disorder is when it's chronically happening, it's causing dysfunction, and it's just not normal. it's normal to be sad every now and then. It's normal to be anxious every now and then. But if you're anxious all the time and you're anxious to the point where you don't leave the house or whatever, something like that, that's when it becomes a disorder. So be very, very careful about talking about mental illness. It's not just feeling the blues. It's not just being worried. It's beyond that. And so with that, I also am going to assign a response paper for this week. I want you to watch a TED Talk on diet and exercise as it relates to stress. And this is a TED Talk that literally hits home because it's given by the former mayor of Oklahoma City, Mick Cornett. So this is about a challenge that he issued in 2014 about helping the state or the city of Oklahoma lose weight. And that's part of the big discussion of stress reduction is, weight loss. And, oh, sorry, my computer just went to the screensaver all of a sudden. That was really weird. Sorry. If all of a sudden there's a shocked look on my face in the video, that's why. Why did I do that? But I want you to watch this TED Talk, and I want you to tell me about the TED Talk, summarize it, tell me something you found interesting, and then also something that you can connect to your own experience. So that is the assignment for this week. We don't have a discussion post this week. We do have an exam that's open that covers chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12, and that will be open until the 15th, which is a Monday. So you have until Sunday to finish response paper, not obviously the Sunday in a couple days from now, but Sunday, I think that's the 14th, and you'll have until the 15th to complete exam number 3. So as you read through the chapters, if you have questions, if you have concerns, please reach out to me via email. Respond to this email that I'm going to send out with this video. I'll put up lecture videos of chapter 10 and 11 as well for you to follow along with. And then also there's practice quizzes for chapters 10 and 11, or 11 and 12, sorry. There's practice quizzes for all the chapters. So if you want to prepare that way for the exam, that's a resource for you to use. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great week. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. If you get the weekend off, or you're going to be shooting off fireworks over the weekend too, or whatever. I don't know if that's what people do or not, but just be safe, be careful, have a good weekend, and I'll see you all next week for week number 7. All right, take care.